What's up guys, it's Flash. In this video I'm excited to release my first review of 2020, so stay tuned. Making $100,000. Characters I met along the way that stepped in and are a big part of my story. There, so stay tuned. Guys, today I'm reviewing J. Lewis Trading. His name is Julian. You're going to refer to me as him as Julian or J. Lewis Trading. This is my first review of 2020 and I'm really excited about releasing this. As you know, I only release products that I actually either like the people behind it, trust the people behind it, or they believe in the product, or there has to be something, a connection with me as well. I don't release every review I do because I don't believe in a lot of products. So I'm happy to release a J. Lewis Trading review for you guys. So I do hope you enjoy. Julian did work in a big financial sector and previous investment companies, I do believe, and he went out on his own to create the J. Lewis Trading. Now the course price is $379. That includes everything from start to finish on what you need to know in the J. Lewis Trading course, which I'm going to be breaking down for you guys. He also does have a chat room and stock call out option section, and that is $40 a month, but I'm going to be going over the whole course right at the end to check is it worth it or not. So do stay tuned till the end. If you are new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe, and even if you're not new, still hit subscribe or like. Normally I don't like call out options, so what that is having the option to buy stock call out. Normally I'm not a huge fan of this, but in this case it works, and that's me being honest, because here's why. The chat room that Julian offers, Ask a Trader, but we'll get into that soon. But one of the call options he offers is $40 a month with the Ask a Trader twice a week, but we're going to be getting into detail. I like it because it's not huge, okay? There's not a huge amount of members in it. It's quite easy to get in contact with Julian with a really rapid response. So you're not dealing with this like huge kind of group that there's thousands of people in, and the trainer's not even there and he has a lot of other people representing him. Julian is there every day, either calling the stocks out or giving you advice. But we're going to be getting into Ask a Trader in just a few minutes after we kind of look at the product first. But that's just an insight of what we're going to be jumping into in this video. So straight off the bat, Julian's going to teach you how to use the TC2000 software, which is an expensive software. Other courses I have reviewed do use this software as well. Now if you're a beginner, it is expensive as a first initial cost if you do want to go with the charts. There's no attachment to Julian and the TC2000, so that's just what he uses, so he's going to train you and recommend using that one. But again, there's no obligation to use it. Use whatever software or broker you rather and can afford. But the TC2000 is really good in its terms of the charts are one of the best that you're going to find on the stock market. I don't use them, but I've seen them being done and they are really good. So if you have the budget, do invest in it. I personally don't invest into the software. I'd rather invest into my account because I'm happy with the brokerages that I use. So that's just my reason behind it. He's going to teach you how to kind of use the scanners, some basic software and tools, and it's very straightforward. It's explained very well. So that's one of the advantages of what Julian's actually doing, is his strategy of explaining things is really good, and you'll know that if you've done the course. It's laid out in a really simple, easy format, and his language in it is very basic, which is good because you don't want to be confused or bogged down by these high technical terms of trading. So jumping into the Ask a Trader section is Julian, like I said, runs a chat room twice a week. It's called Ask a Trader. So he's going to be in there answering stock market questions, doing chart breakdowns, and really giving you that one-to-one advice you need. It is 24-hour access and chat once you're a member, so that's hugely beneficial. Now most courses do offer this, but the attraction, like I said, with the Julian's Ask a Trader is it's small and it's kind of a close-knit community, which is great. So you're not dealing with huge figures. It's kind of you, him, and a couple of hundred other people. So the community is really there and really gets behind you, and that's one of the most attractive things about the course. The reason as well why I wanted to take this review on, and I have to be 100% honest, is Julian himself. Okay, he comes across like a super nice, genuine guy. He's worth kind of investing in. He knows what he's talking about, and he's not out there just to make a quick dollar. He is investing a huge amount of time into people and helping them. He does offer mentoring programs as well, but even if you don't opt for his mentoring program, you'll see the amount of time he'll focus on you in the chat is insane. He's the type of guy who'll sit up, he'll help you, and money is not the driving force behind him. It is helping people, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, is because I think as a community we have to support people like ourselves that's just trying to help people. Yes, if we can make money along the way trading and help people benefit, of course, why not? But it's helping people and bringing them up, which is really beneficial. So that's what I really like about Julian. I thought that was an important point I wanted to cover. So getting back to the course, is his course is laid out a lot similar to other courses I've done in the past. Is they laid out in structures taking you from basic to advanced trading. They'll all kind of have the same basic information roughly. I mean, to teach someone how a candle opens and closes is the same, it's not going to change. But what you're looking for is nuggets of information in there that's different than what other people offer in their course. So his course is going to take you through kind of candles, volume, markets, indicators, stock options. He trades options, which is good. I don't personally trade options, but he does. He trades stocks. So these are kind of things that he will cover right through in a very basic way through to some advanced strategies. If I was to kind of critique the course a small bit, I'm not going to call it a negative point, but if it's something that I would put in because it's important that it is my 100% honest feedback, and this is one thing I would possibly change, is maybe make the videos were shorter in terms of, if it's a section on candles and volume, maybe make it the video on candles and volume, and kind of condense them a little bit. That's probably the only thing I would say, rather than having them kind of big huge videos. Personally for me, I rather learn in small sections than big long videos, but other people are different. They like to hit big long videos at a time, so it really is just personal preference, and that's just mine. Julian in the section, which is really beneficial, and I do like when traders do this, is they will go over the pre-market plan. Okay, here he shows you the screen. Here's what I do in the morning. Here's how I scan. Here's how I look for stocks. Here's what I'm looking for in stocks. This is important to add in the course, especially for beginners, because it is so important for you guys to see the structure that goes on in the morning of a trading day, because you need to see exactly what's involved, and it translates a bit better into your head. So this is all covered in Julian's course of how he gets started in the morning, how he'll break down his stocks. He will show you his tips and tricks on what he looks for in his stocks, which is hugely beneficial. This section is great for beginners. Like I said, it can be very hard starting out and daunting because you don't know what process to follow. So when it's put into an A to Z formula by saying start here, here's what we look for, here's what we do, all the way through, now we have a structure to our job, and now we know what criteria we look for going forward. He will, in this section, what I like about it as well, he covers a lot of charts. Now his charts, he's not just covering the successful ones, he's covering his ones that he's made mistakes in as well. And this is important for him to have honesty and transparency in his course, because he's also showing you A, what works, here's what to do, B, here's what doesn't work, here's what it looks like, here's what not to do. So it's a really important section in the course. Personally, it's one of my favorites because he goes into a lot of depth in doing so. One of the cool things that I have learned from the course, and this is me being completely honest, is I have learned a tool that I didn't know existed. It's called the Fibonacci projection tool. Now, yes, I've heard of the Fibonacci retracement. So yes, I understand that, but the Fibonacci projection tool was completely new to me. So as soon as I seen this in a section, again, I shouldn't be going into his little tips and tricks, but I thought this was cool and I thought I'd talk about it. It might help you make a decision on the course, but this added huge value to me, so I wanted to put it in the review for you guys. So I've never seen it, it's how it worked, and it was a great insight to see people's strategies on, here's actually one of their tips, tricks and secrets on what they do, and this is how, I'm not saying that's how he's successful, but this is one of his tools that maybe he uses, and that's why he's a great trader. So I thought that was really cool because I've never seen it done before, and it really gave me an insight to the actual tool, and I started looking at it and researching it and seeing, can I put it into my own trading strategy. Now, as you know, I love to trade off patterns. I use very few indicators, but I have to say this section was really cool. This section was really cool, and it was probably, again, up there one of my favorites in the course. So it's between that and the basic chart kind of breakdown section he has, is kind of neck on neck my favorite kind of sections he uses. Again, just note, just because I don't use indicators doesn't mean they're not the right thing to do. It's just my personal preference that the less on the screen the better. It's because I solely focus on patterns. But other people are different. They will use a lot of indicators, and it's whatever works for you. I was trained by using them, and I was trained not to use them, and I just came to a conclusion of what works better for me, and I stuck to that decision. But it is really important that in courses they do cover how to use the indicators, because you need to have the option whether you want to use them or not to use them, and they can be crucially important for different styles of trading, like options or swing trading. You would use a bit more indicators than I would day trading. So it's really, really good. He goes into a lot of detail in the tools and indicator section, and especially with the Fibonacci projection tool. I thought that was a pretty sweet. So well done, J. Lewis Trading. Again, Julian will cover basic patterns. This is a large section in the course. It contains good information, and he also kind of goes over a big section where it's VWAP, kind of like basic kind of strategies on how to use the VWAP, which is good because VWAP can be a good tool if you're a beginner and you're looking to use the VWAP. That is one of the indicators I do use, is VWAP, but that should be in everyone's trading style. So Julian does focus on a big section in the course, focusing on solely the VWAP tool. What I want to emphasize is Julian focuses a lot on risk management. Now, whether this is because he comes from kind of a big trading background or not, but it is a really, really important section. No matter what course you do, you want to see risk management in there, but he really emphasized on it. So I think it's really important to cover this section in the review, because I like how he does it. He's not kind of just marketing in this course as a get rich quick scheme. Anybody who does that I usually wouldn't work with, or if they're kind of promoting it that way. But he's really honest, and he says, look, here's what I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to focus a lot on risk management. So it's important I cover this section in the video for you guys. So through the on-depth kind of section in the course of risk management, he does apply kind of homework for you to do. Now, normally I'm like, oh, homework, but I don't mean it's homework, but he's given you tasks to kind of to go take them into the live markets and just kind of study them, and little tips and tricks that he wants you to take note of. So I think that's important and that's cool. He's emphasizing what's really important, regardless that the course is important and everything in it should be important, but he kind of emphasizes this section. Risk management, you need it. If you don't have it, you're not going to last long. So pay attention. Here's what I recommend you do after the course is finished and going forward, A, B, and C. So he puts a lot of energy and emphasis into the risk management section, which I do like, and it is a big bonus in the course. Now, Julian does use a lot of tools in the risk management section, and what I mean by that is that's how he calculates his risk management. I personally am slightly different. I will focus on patterns. Here's where I enter, here's where I sell, and here's where my stop loss is, and that's my style. But it's cool to see someone on the other end use more of kind of risk management tools and calculations to stay afloat, and it's interesting to see the other side of things and how it can work. Now, there's no right or wrong in this section. It's whatever works for you and whatever works for the trainer teaching you. Give it a go. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but give it a go and see, can you get it. But this is one of the best sections I've seen in a lot of courses I've done, is the risk management, so pay attention when doing it. He will also offer you a trading template plan, so you make sure you use every little nut and cranny that he has to offer you in the course. I'm going to get straight into the pricing of it. The price $379, like I said, is it worth it? Is it not? He has the Ask a Trader chat room, $40 a month extra. Is that worth it? Is it not? Personally, I think his price point of his course is right on target. I think it could have been maybe $20-$30 higher, and it would still be perfect value. I think any lower, he's undervaluing it. So I think where he's doing it right now is a price to say, look, I have a top education here. I'm going to give you my time. I'm going to invest it into you, and I'm going to ask for a small amount in return, $379, which is a very, very fair price. I've seen other courses out there that ask for thousands of dollars. I've done them, and they don't quite have as much information in them. So yes, I'm really happy where he priced his product. And at the $40 Ask a Trader, that without a doubt right there, that's worth it in itself. To have somebody that dedicated, that gives you that amount of time for such little in return, is worth it to me all day long. The overall course is worth its money. That is my 100% honest review. I do hope you enjoyed the first review of 2020. That course is J. Lewis Trading. If you do decide to take his course, I will put a link in the description below for you guys. Do go check it out and enjoy it. Once again, good night and God bless.